Continuation of the Saying No to Your Dog series. Parts 3 and 4 will run on together. There's still a few more things that I'd like to chat about with this, but the first part, or the next part of this, is saying no in order to punish behaviour and how it works and how it doesn't work if it works. So if you say no to your dog and it has to be the threat of something more severe, or saying no to your dog has to be unpleasant enough that the dog wants to avoid that in the future. So it's not enough that you interrupt that behaviour as it's happening. Learning or training has to have an impact on future behaviour for it to be learning or training. And if it's not, all that we're doing is managing the environment or the situation. Now, what happens is that you say no to your dog and it stops the dog's behaviour, and that then reinforces your behaviour of saying no to the dog. If we want if we want an interrupter, we need to train that separately, which we'll cover next. And more often than not, when you say no to your dog, what happens is that you end up reinforcing the behaviour that you are trying to stop. To give you an example of that, or to make it a little bit clearer, when you're a child and you're sitting with your sibling in the back of the car, and your sibling pokes you in the ribs, and you turn around and say, stop it or pack it in. So you've effectively said no to them, but what they have heard from that is do it again. They're looking for a reaction, and they get that reaction even though the reaction from you is saying no. Now, not recommended, but if you're to say no and then punch them in the face really, really hard, that might have an impact on their future behaviour, but saying no on its own wouldn't. So what tends to happen is that the dog does something and you say no and interact with him or her. The dog then learns, if I do that behaviour, I get interaction from you or me. Okay, so that's how saying no doesn't work. And what we'll talk about in the next video is how to train an interrupter without it being a reinforcer. And I'll talk about that next time. So questions or comments below, guys, and we can have a discussion about it. Sorry, it's been a while since I've updated this series, but I've just had other things on. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks a lot.